All right, you guys get ready to get rolling?
Yeah, let's send it down range.
You're listening to the Modern Dad Experience.
Oh, wow. Let me look.
Cheers, boys.
Cliggity. Feel like it's been an eternity.
It has been. We're not
Right.
going to waste any time. We're getting straight into wins and losses. Jimmy, hit me up.
Man, so I've been holding on to this one for a while.
Has it been brewing?
It has been brewing. This wins losses. I mean, I think we got some content that we had filmed up today. Levi was telling me we had an episode that missed. We've been off for like 6-7 weeks. It's been kind of brutal, but our apologies. We're back now. We're better than ever. And here comes the content. So I had an awesome win fail because it's both sides of the coin, which is always good when there's a win and a fail. And what's even better about this win fail is that I was the winner and Levi was the failure.
Oh, no.
And he may or may not remember this, but I certainly do. So this was back, I think it was June 10th, I believe, 10th, 11th. And I don't know.
I know what this is.
I don't know if anybody else is into looking at the stars and the lunar cycle and all that fun stuff, but it was a strawberry moon, which was fantastic. And it peaked at 4 a.m. in the morning on June 11th. So the beauty of this is on June 10th, that was primo time to watch the strawberry moon. I was at a swim meet with my kids, which they're on the swim team first year, having a great time, White Cliff. But during the meet, we see this amazing, huge strawberry moon. I mean, it was beautiful. It was red. It was fantastic. I mean, breathtaking. It really was. Practically stopped the meet. Everybody was so excited about it. And this is June 10th, premiere watching. And so fast forward to June 11th, which was the day that the moon crested. Yes, June 11th. But Levi texted me, and I was on my walk in the park, and he said, "Hey, Jimmy," and we live close. He said, "You see the moon out there?" And I just texted back, "No, I'm in the park." And he's like, "Should I walk down from my house?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in the park. It was awesome last night." And so I continue my walk, and I don't even really think about it. And I'm going, third mile or so, and I see a guy with a flashlight walking in the park, and it's Levi, and he's looking for that moon. He's like, "Oh my God, you don't see the moon." And then I told him the bad news that it was the night before.
Yeah, a huge fail. I love harvest moons. I love anytime the moon is in a bright phase. I had read the headline, but I didn't read the article, which is my typical MO. I've failed to do. I just jumped to conclusions. So when it said strawberry moon on June 11th, I was like, yeah, but they meant 5 a.m. June 11th or 4:30 a.m. is its peak.
Yes.
So I missed it completely, but I did enjoy a short walk in the park with Jimmy.
It was nice.
Nice. Spent 3 minutes talking about the strawberry moon. I hope you guys are happy.
Good stuff, Brett.
I'm very happy, actually.
Want my 3 minutes back.
All right. Throw us a fastball. What do you got?
Wins, losses. I have a win of did some camping and floating with the kids. That was a good win, I feel like.
Nice.
Yeah,
Big River? Where at?
Big River. That simple, kind of cheap thing, that cheap thrill. The cool part was camping. There was a lightning storm that rolled in. I shouldn't say it's the cool part. The cool part was riding out the lightning storm and surviving it. So that was cool. But yeah,
were you guys already off the river, or were you still on the river when the lightning?
Yeah, we camped the night before and then floated in the morning. So that night we camped around 2 a.m. Storm rolled in. We thought we had missed it all. We did. We avoided most of it, and then boom, for 30 minutes, it was pretty gnarly lightning. But we just hunkered down and had the rain tarp on, and was good to go. But it's cool when you kind of make it through that, because Benny's camp, right? Because it was legit flashes, lightning, and all this stuff.
Were you on a gravel bar or at a campground? Where were you?
Yeah, well, so we were up. We were in a field, basically, in the corner by the woods. So we had woods and open field. Um, so yeah, it wasn't like there was trees that could fall on us or anything or crazy stuff. But we were not on the gravel bar, thank goodness. That sounds like fun though. An overnight camp float. Is that what you're saying you want to do?
Yeah, well, I'm planning it.
I love it. I like where this is
We
going.
we floated this weekend. We camped like the hottest heat advisory weekend of the year, but it was awesome. We floated on Saturday out at Sam Baker State Park. About five or six families. We've been doing it for since like 5 or 6 years now. It's good, and the group keeps growing, and it's just a fun,
Yeah.
offline vacation. Offline,
Tell
no
us about
tech.
Baker. You guys, is it the same spot you go to every year? What river?
Yeah, and I probably shouldn't say this out loud because we have the most primo section of the entire campsite. It's campsite 2, and there's like this little cul-de-sac at the end where we have every single campsite, and there's a bathroom there, like a single bathroom, which nobody knows about. So it's like our personal bathroom right between our tents, and we have river access, which no one else in the campground can even see because it's through our campsites. So we go down to the river and we're alone. We have this beautiful stretch.
Which one? The Burbis or the Merrimack? Or
Well, the St. Francis is what we float, but I think it's the Big Creek or something that's behind
St.
the
Francis is a
campsite.
great river. So you're down there a little ways.
Yeah, it's a couple hours,
Cool.
55 to 67
Yeah.
south, and
That's awesome. Dude.
but yeah, we've been, like I said, 5 or 6 years. Maybe someday you guys jump on it. I feel like by the time our girls are in high school, we'll have the whole campsite,
Canoes
for that
or
weekend
rafts?
after. What's that?
Canoes or rafts or kayaks?
We did tandem kayaks this year, and it was exceptional. I mean,
Yeah,
the river was
that's
high. The river was high, so it moved quick. But the tandem kayaks were just, so much more maneuverable than the canoes, which I'm good with canoes. We've done rafts, we've done canoes, but with the river up and the kayaks, we really motored through it. And it was by far the best float that we've had. My kids are getting older too, which helps. But by far the best float we've had. I also stashed the car. We took our minivan down to the drop point where we get out of the river, and so a lot of times you got to wait for a while to get picked up, and sometimes that's brutal. But man, I had my van down there. I think we clown carted back, took like 14 people, and then sent one minivan back. But yeah, it was epic. It was an epic weekend.
Did everybody camp in a tent, or did you guys do cabins?
Yep, camped in tents. One of our party had a Sprinter van,
Cool.
which was cool. But they also had a tent. They also had a tent too. So
Cool.
yeah, man, it was. Yeah, I just love going offline, checking out. No phone. The service there is terrible, so I didn't even look at my phone unless I was taking a picture. No emails, no. Nothing. I came back in town and I'm like, holy shit, we're at war. None of it. I didn't know any of it. I didn't hear any of that stuff.
How did all the kids do? Like, what was some of the stuff you guys did around the campfire and stuff? Cook on the fire too, or how did you guys get down on the grub?
Yeah, man, we sat by a campfire, but the kids, like, there's, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. There's like, it's like a gaggle of kids. There's 15 or so kids. So they're running around. I got them walkie-talkies. So they're running around the campsite, just having a ball. Yeah, man, it's like our childhood, trying to figure out stuff to do, right? But you're in a place with all sorts of cool stuff. We did a little fishing, hung out at the creek quite a bit in the water. And, yeah, man.
That's
Cooked.
awesome.
Yeah. I did drummies, chicken drummies for everybody at camp, so I did, and I got like a bag or 2 of them left just because I went hard on the drummies. I did like 60, 80 drummies, just had them ripping after the float.
That's cool. We took a kayak and 3 canoes, and then I pulled off this sweet deal where like I have a truck tent for my old Chevy. I have a tent that goes over the bed of the truck. I got it for like $100 online back in this is like 10 years ago.
That Chevy's in my driveway, by the
20
way.
years ago it is. Be careful with that thing.
I love that thing.
And I put it on the GMC and I made it work. But the point is, you just put an air mattress in the back of the truck and you put the tent over the bed and you've created like a pretty great off the ground truck tent. So that was cool. I was pretty excited about that rig job. But
here's the through line to being a dad, which is why we're consumed with being outside. Is like we're not meant to like stare at computers and spreadsheets and like there's nothing natural about the way we work today. And this idea of bushcraft or like just going out, assessing your environment and figuring out how to live.
Nice timing.
Is an element of fun to it, but if you can do that in the wild, you can do that in any environment.
Yeah, that's good. If you can, exactly, and I feel like it always brings it back to simplicity. I'm like, if you guys can enjoy this like grassy ground and fire and smoky and not great sleep, maybe it gives you greater appreciation for how wonderful it is to have a home and just these basic things. But like, especially no devices out there, it's obviously a positive. But keeping it raw is simple, right?
I got a new tent. I got a 10-man tent, which was like a significant upgrade for us.
Like a prince.
Yeah, man. I felt like it when I bought the tent.
Could you even find enough flat ground to set that up? That's a big tent.
Listen, let me finish my story. I felt like a big man. I bought it at Bass Pro. It was on sale, and I had a bunch of Bass Pro points. So I was like, and it was on like a night where you go and I think I got a soft-sided small cooler just by being there. I brought the girls and got this tent. I was so pumped. 10-man tent. I think our last one was a 4 or 6, and all 4 of us couldn't really fit in it. So I'm flying pretty high. We get down to the campsite and I put my tent up and I'm like, this is awesome. And then I look around and the families that are with us had tents that just made mine look super dumb. One of these tents had 4 single rooms in it. Yeah. With like so each of them had their own bedroom, and then there was this large space in the middle, and then like a front porch. And I'm like, okay, I want to burn my tent. It's like so inadequate, and it's the biggest tent I've ever been in my life, but totally inadequate compared to everybody else.
That's hilarious. They have like tables and chairs. Like, come on into our living room. You're
right,
like,
right. There's mood lighting and shit in their tent, and I'm like, at least the bugs aren't in here with us.
So, that's back to the point of you probably had a great time in your tent regardless with your fam, but don't let the grass always be greener, buddy.
Yeah, and when you think it's too hot to be outside, if you're camping next to moving water, you got a solution, man. You got a reason to be in the water all day. And then if you're trying to go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night and it's hot, you just go take a quick dip, and that core body temperature drops real fast.
I mean, not just that, but it was probably 5-10 degrees cooler at our site because we were right next to the water. Yeah. I mean, it was cool. Like the camp liaison or whatever, they have like the special camper that's there all the time and just like drives the golf cart around. He kept like coming and hanging out, and he's like, "This is the coolest spot in the whole place," and we're like, "We know, don't tell anybody."
That's great when you
just announced it. Spot number 2 down it.
Right.
That's great when you get a spot though. It makes it even more special. I grabbed my neighbor's Milwaukee battery operated fans and put one of those in my tent, and that was a game changer.
I usually do the swamp cooler, just styrofoam with ice, throw a fan in there, some PVC. I did not bring it this year because the PVC that I had like set up for it, I still have the styrofoam, but the PVC I used on my upstairs bathroom when I'm renovating the upstairs bathroom, so I didn't have it. And like
I need an elbow. I know exactly where I can get one.
Right, the day of, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not going to the hardware store right now. Like I'm just trying to get out of town, so we went without it, and it was fine. It was fine. Temp was not a problem.
Levi, you're a camping master. When you just camped recently, and you're probably camping again. What are you camping right now? Is that your tent we're looking at?
Yeah, I got a 12 man. I do. I think I've been camping pretty much. I've been in the woods every weekend the past 6 weeks. So yeah, love
No.
it.
Do you guys cook over the fire when you go, or how do you roll? Because I love doing cast iron straight up over the fire on some hot rock.
I do a mixture of things. Got the camp stove, which we rely on.
Love the camp
Dutch
stove.
oven. Dutch oven. Yeah, I just love
Cool.
being outside.
Yeah, man.
All right, so let's stay on that same train of thinking, and we're talking about camping, which is cheap and easy, and we all love to do it, and that's like a dead win all the way around. Levi, you were in Alaska, brother.
That's
Alaska
right.
for 8 days.
This is great dad stuff because this is for your 10-year,
15.
15-year, and this has everything to do with being right happy. Not I'm gonna say happy spouse, happy house. I'm gonna say like
Well, so
it's a big
yeah,
part of it.
I think so. We set a rule early on, like that. We had a relationship before kids, and we were going to maintain that relationship. So we still go on dates.
It's
And
awesome.
So we set that precedent pretty early on, and it's hard to leave the kids for a week at a time, but we do it once a year to go on our anniversary trip. And some weeks or some years it's like real close to Iowa, but this year it was to Alaska, and it's just phenomenal to go explore and make sure that relationship is strong and rekindled and all that stuff. So it's really good time. We picnic on the side of a mountain. We took a helicopter to a glacier, which was crazy. Yeah, it was not. But to Jimmy's point, it was not free, cheap, and easy.
It can't be that way all the time. You got to break out, and
Well,
got to.
and you mentioned something, Levi, in that story about maintaining that relationship with your wife, and like I am a failure at that. Not so much, but like the dating and like keeping it fresh like
Sure.
that. I have not been great about that, and something I want to be better at. But I mean, like hearing it and setting that stage early, I think is super important, especially for the new husbands and the new fathers, because it's hard. It's hard once you get in, 12 years and you're running around with kids and you're doing all these different things. It's hard. And so, yes, I mean,
Yep.
I need to be better at that. And that's why we do this, is because, like, none of us are perfect, right? I mean, none of us have it figured out. And if you tell me that you do, I know you're a liar. I mean, that's just the way it is, man. I mean, nobody has the blueprint, right? And so all this information, all these things, hopefully we help people out, man. Hopefully they hear that, and like we have both sides of the coin here. I am not good at that, and I need to be better. And sometimes you have to hear it. Sometimes you have to hear it from somebody else who's
the answers to the test. You just
right.
got to exercise it, right? I'm agreeing with you. I'm terrible at it as well. Like we do a lot of things, but I find more probably excuse in doing all these things together with the kids or not, but it's like, that's not doing things separately together. Right. That's like a whole different ball game, if you will. But yeah. Talk about date night, and then like there's a thing good to do with the daughter too. Maybe I used to do a little bit more of it. I need to get back to it. Both ladies in my life having more of a date night, but
it's very complicated. So we're a family of 4, as are you guys. And so there's a one-on-one relationship with every person. There's a relationship all with everyone. So you have to carve out space for every one of those relationships. One-on-one time with my daughter, one-on-one time with my son, one-on-one time with my wife, etc. And that's hard to work in, but you got to be active at it.
Right. Agreed. And yeah, I've been thinking about my mom. Like I need to be. Not that I need to go on a weekly date or monthly date or anything like that with my mom, but she's a single mom or whatever, like single person living alone. So it's like they get that window of time to give time there too. How do you make time for all these things?
Well, so the secret is I've already got 26 planned. Like I plan a year out. Like, and that might sound super dull to people, but that sounds
not at age 43. If you would have asked me 20 years ago, I'd be like, "What, bro?" But no, 43. I get excited about my calendar downstairs that I get to erase every year and write in the new one. I mean, but you're talking about 26 in June, so that's great.
Yeah.
I like thinking of things that I know are going to happen next year and put them down, because you know what I mean. Those annual things are great to always have. Like that's like I know it's there.
Yeah.
If I know it's there, then it's not right. Or I mean, have it come up later or whatever. But
right. All right. So I was in Alaska, and Alaska's consumed with, well, I don't know if Alaska is. Everyone who visits Alaska is consumed with this book and movie called Into the Wild. Have you heard of it? Do you have any working knowledge of what
I haven't read it, but I've watched it a few times. It's pretty heavy. And yeah, there's a great soundtrack by Pearl Jam too.
Yeah. Jimmy, you aware of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you go to the bus?
No, they moved the bus to Fairbanks, and we didn't get that far north. And anyway, to recap it for the audience listening at home, this guy, after he graduates college, he goes on like 2 years of tramping around the country. He decides the big epic adventure he wants to go on is Alaska, and he goes to the super hard trail. Unfortunately, he stays too long, gets weak, and he dies. But people are consumed with the story, what happened, why was he out there, why is he a crazy person. But anyway, it's got me thinking, like, we as a society or culture, I don't think we have enough rites of passage. I think usually we collect enough rites of passage that we move from adolescence to adulthood, but we don't have like real clear ones. And so let me say that, and then you react to it. What do you think on rites of passage?
Yeah, I think you've brought this up kind of sort of before, and I think it's pretty great because when you I don't really know of any besides, like, I guess if you were to go into a sport or something, like, if you go into like Taekwondo, you take levels, right? That's a real formalized rite of passage in a way, but like I feel like maybe it is kind of lost upon us as a society on how you attain certain
I'll be done in like 10 minutes.
levels of, I don't know, not respect, but achievement of knowledge in certain fields. I mean,
I think
when the rite of passage
for sure camping, but I think whether or not you label it, like, rites of passage are all over everything that we do. I mean, as you grow up, just riding a bike. Once you get those training wheels off and you have this mobility that you didn't have before. I remember, playing football. I couldn't play tackle football till I was in 6th grade. My dad was a high school football coach. I lived it. I breathed it. I loved it. But I had to wait. I had to wait till I was more developed. And 6th grade was the year, and that was a rite of passage. Going to high school, going to college. I mean, all these things, these different milestones in your life. I mean, it's a growth spurt. It's new things. It's challenges. It's pressure. It's getting out of your comfort zone. But all those things, I mean, it helps build us into the people that we are. So yeah, whether you call them rites of passage or not, whether you celebrate them as such, I think that life itself kind of gives it to you.
Yeah,
all along the way.
You're right on. They're gonna come. They're gonna come whether or not you know that there are rites of passage or that you're expecting them. It's interesting. I'm just thinking, like, if you had the mentality of approaching situations that this is a test, this is the challenge, and my job is to do my best at this challenge and see how that goes. You'll learn something either way, right? I like it.
Agreed.
All right. I got 5 minutes before I got to run the bedtime routine. What do you guys got? What's coming up?
Oh man, coming up. 4th of July is coming up.
4th of July is coming up. We're going to Minnesota in August for vacay, which is coming up, which should be good. Ripping through summer camp. Select soccer starts here pretty soon for my oldest, which is cool.
When is that? 10 o'clock at night? Because otherwise you're talking about heat stroke.
Yeah, they have like a summer training program that I'm signing her up for, and it was supposed to start this week, but they canceled it all this week because of the heat. But I mean, like, at some point you just gotta be prepared and get after it. Hydrate, and yeah, it's hot, but somebody else is out there working. That's the coach in me. That's the athlete in me. Like, you know, uh, I'm not, I'm not having my kids do sprints without water or anything outside, but at the same time, like, that doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right?
Remind me never to go to Jimmy's training camp.
I
Right.
love
All right, you guys got anything else before we cheers out?
Man, no, but that's just because you only got a couple minutes, man.
That's all right.
Next episode that's coming soon. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Holy shit!
Oh, okay.
You know,
Maybe we need
I
to do
mean,
like a double week episode.
I think so. We should make up for all those weeks, those 5 weeks that we took off.
Yeah.
Jacking around, going to Alaska, hanging out, doing whatever.
That's right.
That's
right.
Missing the strawberry moon.
We got an episode in the can coming out too, right?
I think Levi put one out tonight.
Awesome.
He put one out tonight, and then we talked about it. That one that the audio got bad on. I think we run the first 8 minutes or 10 minutes. It was a good recap of Fall Fest. So I think certainly people that were there and some of those people listen to this podcast, I think they'd enjoy that first 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Maybe like that's a sweet spot. We run that one, and everybody's like, 10 minutes is all I can take. Let's roll. And then we just start making them 10 minutes.
People have short attention spans, Maybe it just needs to be 30 seconds long.
Right. Whatever it takes. Oh, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't whatever you're supposed to do, man. And we got a Facebook page now.
We
do. I think they're all going up on Facebook too, Levi.
We do?
We do.
Gosh.
Oh, stop it, Brett. I sent you that, and you need to send it out to all your friends. First of all, I tried to, and I got it out to some of my friends. But, like, you can only do 50 at a time, and then I think I was, like, sending it to the
They
same
flagged you
50.
as spam?
No, I don't think. But, like, you can only send it out to 50 at a time from my, my Modern Dad Experience Facebook account. And I think I just kept hitting it, like, thinking it would go to the next 50, but I think I just hit the first 50, like, 17 times, and then I just quit because I'm like, everyone is going to hate me. So please don't hate me if I did that to you, and tell your friends. Let's get some people on this train, and let's bring it on home, boys.
All right. Cheers.
Cliggity, cliggity.
See you guys.
Adios, amigos.